Hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome to Cyclo Chambers. It is, as far as I can tell, it's a bullet heaven, and it looks pretty charming. So let's see, control, aim, on and off. Let's see, and let's do medium difficulty. Okay, so WASD to move. Whoops, and I'm not even clicked on the game. How do I aim? Oh, okay, so this is most assuredly a controller game. Please, controller, control. Okay, there we go. Huh. Oh, that's interesting. So I aim cardinally with the face buttons. Grants homing projectiles. Sure. There's also apparently a yo-yo that I guess I could have maybe picked up. We'll figure it out. But homing projectiles should kind of help because a number of these enemies are going to be coming at me at odd angles. Is that something I need to concern myself with? Yes? Okay, so I'm gonna just pick some of these things up because it looks like between waves I don't actually get to keep them. Let's see. So we can unlock this. We get some money. And got any money? Metal attraction, range from which pickups are picked up. Max HP or extra range. I'm gonna go for the pickup radius. And the extra range. I'm not gonna bother with the honey though. Okay, I'm digging this so far. I'm getting kind of Brotato vibes from it. But it's a little bit more. Here, I gotta check. It's settings. Controls? Keyboard and controller. Is it general? Auto aim and shoot. I'm gonna try that. Because the auto aim, yeah, the auto aim just feels better. I don't quite like the Binding of Isaac style of aiming anymore. Back in the day, I don't think it was too bad. But nowadays, it's kind of a little bit more awkward. I think the only immediate problem with, the auto aim that I'm gonna run into is mostly just, well, we get a randomizer. Interdimensional Santa, what? The only issue I'm gonna run into is maybe some of the loot boxes that go by. I might not be able to shoot them, but whatever. Chance for enemies to burst into flames when destroyed, or just flat damage. I like the fire, but maybe the flat damage is just gonna be better. At least for now. The 10% chance to explode could be really powerful, or it could be kind of ho-hum, and boy, yeah, that +5 damage more or less means I'm just cooking a lot of these guys. Or did I get both of those? I'm noticing some fire going on. And yeah, that extra magnet radius is helping. We are pretty much not missing a single bit of loot. Okay, so projectiles split into 2 smaller projectiles on impact, or projectiles in 8 directions every 3 seconds. Oh. Ooh. I think Meiosis 1 is probably better than Octopoda. Probably. Alright, I'm really liking the roguelike-y mechanics of this. Oh, it works that way. I was hoping they would split elsewhere. I don't know, Octopoda probably would have been better. Maybe. I mean, once we start getting a little bit more surrounded, this maybe isn't going to be so bad. Yeah, okay, it's working fine. Especially with the homing. The little projectiles have slight course corrections, so they're more likely to hit things. We also have the boss. Huh. Am I just here until the boss is dead? I might be. I think I get less resources. Ow. Holy smokes, that hurt. Okay, do not get touched by the boss. The boss is pain. Did I kill it? I have no idea. Okay, well, we get a reroll. Summons a companion that follows you around and shoots enemies. Summons a companion that moves around the perimeter of the chamber, poisoning enemies in contact. Hi. Yes, I would like to buy everything. Can I reroll? Yes, but everything's too expensive. Well, that's unfortunate. At least I can take a look. Yeah, so this guy just summons a bunch of companions. Well, now I got some buddies. They look like they're not really happy to be here. Like, I may or may not have forced the issue by recruiting them, and they're just like, yeah, I wish I wasn't here. Well, I'm glad we got those companions, because this got hectic. Really fast. I don't know if they have hitboxes, though. Like, I don't know if my companions can die. Or if they're effectively just kind of along for the ride. Grab the money. Oh, that was a gold coin. This is the face you make when you work retail. Nothing unusual. Mirror face. Metal attraction into... Duplicate this item of yours. Yes. Okay, so now I should have, like, really huge magnetism. Okay, yeah. Looks like my companion characters cannot get shot at the very least. Which I will take. Yeah, I like the upgrade system for this. It reminds me a lot of Rotato, but instead of just a bunch of really small stat bonuses, they're slightly more meaningful items with their own unique effects. I have no idea if they're actually going to be that good. Increase your fire rate when your HP drops below 15% max or landmine every 5 seconds. I'm going to re-roll this one. We can do better. Chance for projectiles to release a poisonous cloud on impact or +1 weapon. I'm going to go for an extra weapon. I don't know what that's going to do. Do I just... Is this twice as many projectiles? Oh, baby. Oh, this is even better. Now, the question is, can I get a third weapon, and how do I hold it? I don't know, but I want to know. I'm actually really digging this. I've been playing a lot of Bullet Heavens lately for obvious reasons, but I find most of them tend to be kind of ho-hum. This one, I don't know if it necessarily does anything new, but it remixes a lot of other roguelike ideas in, and I love the aspect of character choice. Some health. Okay. Honey. Fire rate and crit chance. We can do better than these. Slows down enemies for the rest of the scene if you're hit. Gives you money every time you decline Space Hog's offer. Fire rate and range. Fire rate and range. I got one more reroll. Max HP and damage. Fire rate and crit chance, or just fire rate. I'm gonna go for this. Everything else is too expensive. The max HP and damage would have been good, but I think a bunch of fire rate is a really good idea. Because I do a lot of damage and more or less just kind of burn through a lot of enemies pretty quickly. Let's grab those treasure containers. Right, I have to actually pick it up. It is not affected by my magnetism. Kind of wish it was, just because, you know, why not? But, oh well. Yeah, now I'm just rolling these suckers. Yeah, part of the reason why I didn't want to pick up the octopus upgrade was mostly just the fact that get a free reroll. And we get mirror face. Let's see. I'm gonna re-roll this. More shotgun troopers. Sure, why not? But the octopode one doesn't seem to be isn't affected by attack speed, which becomes slightly less useful to me in the long run. I want anything and everything that can kind of scale based on stats. Ow, how did I even get hit there? Probably got shot close range, didn't even notice. Or I just got shot normally and just didn't notice because... Oops. Ooh, got a soul heart? Nope, just a big health. There we go. I'll kill him eventually. I just want to keep the gooners off of me. Okay. Yeah, we're good. Get a bunch of money, and every 5 seconds, Stick will pop out of the ground, dealing damage to enemies. Or Octopoda. I'm gonna go for Octopoda. The spike is kind of interesting, but the fire bullets in a circle around me seems like it's the most practical. I just wish the cooldown was affected by my attack speed or something, because that could get real silly. Oh. Ooh, that was like a golden chest. Looks like we got a reroll down here too. I'll admit I don't like the minions quite as much because it's messing with my perception of what my hitbox is, but oh well. Let's see. Unlock it with money, gain more money. That's unfortunate. Let's see. Lasers every time. 4 lasers every time you're hit. Crit chance. I'm gonna go for the fire rate. Let's reroll. See what else we get. Damage, luck, and fire rate. Oh, hell yeah. I'm gonna go for the luck. Damage or fire rate. I've been stacking a lot of fire rates, so let's go for the damage for now. And yeah, I gotta watch out to see if there's any loot boxes going by. Oh. I am actively having trouble seeing some of these enemy projectiles. I think that's the one problem with Bullet Heavens, is that if you start trying to introduce enemies that shoot at you, it actually becomes kind of a problem. Especially if there's too much going on. Oh, no, yes, no. Didn't open it up. Damage 2 times when you're in an invincibility state. Interdimensional Santa. Projectiles split into 4 tiny projectiles upon impact. Thank you, Interdimensional Santa. Alright, so this should... Oh, that's great. So not only does it split into 2 more projectiles, but then it also does the 4 extra projectiles on impact as well, which becomes kind of silly looking. We don't quite have AoEs, but we don't really need them. And yeah, that extra magnet range is doing some serious work here for me. Okay, extra weapon. Definitely extra weapon. I don't know where I'm holding it, but tri-shot, baby. I don't think I care for the sound effects of me shooting, as it is kind of repetitive. It's not that big of a deal. But it's almost kind of one of those where I think after a certain point of like attack speed, the sound effect should just sync up with the music so it becomes its own baseline rather than actually being synced up with how much damage I do. Spawn coins at the start of every scene. And I have no more rerolls. Do we want the slow-mo machine? Nah, I'll just go for the extra damage. Need more games where enemies explode into dozens of your own projectiles. That stuff gets really silly really fast. I don't know if you caught my coverage of Runic last year, but that was one of those games where you killed enemies and they'd explode into ghosts, and then enemies killed by those ghosts would then explode into more ghosts. It got really stupid and I kind of loved it, but it was also really hard to parse. I think this is the first bullet heaven that I've seen go by that's like, no, I've definitely seen other ones, but I think this is the first successful bullet heaven. 4 items. Will be presented by Space Hog instead of 2, and Interdimensional Santa with an extra weapon holster. Oh, it's Christmas. But I think this is the first bullet heaven that I've seen that kind of models it off of the Brotato style of... or Brotato formula. Successfully. Even to the point where, like, I actually would seriously consider playing this over Brotato. There's less nitty-gritty mechanics that I have to worry about. There's also less immediate character builds, which I could actually see being a bit of a limitation. But on the flip side, like, it's kind of fun. 10th projectile you fire, also fire a powerful rocket. Cool. Size of projectiles by 100%, eh. If a projectile misses, it creates an additional projectile somewhere in the arena. Chance to heal, or... yeah, I want to go for second chance. That sounds absurdly good. Oh, and... oh wait, no, that's just the money. So, if I miss with any of my shots, it just creates more bullets. This is just Bullet Storm, and all those extra rockets are swank. And I think they do home in on enemies. Like, really effectively, too. Oh, there's another golden thing. I gotta keep an eye out for those. No, the heart, whatever. Get another reroll. So, fire rate, and invincibility. Let's just snag these two and then I'm out of money. I'm doing reasonably well. I almost wonder if, like, gun sound effects should become quieter, like, the more they're, the more you hear them or something. I don't know. I always run into this problem with a lot of games with repetitive sound effects of how do you actually balance that so it doesn't sound kind of awful. I'm sure some games do it, but it's going to be like the one sticking point for me here on this one. But I'll probably just turn all of the sound effects off for the next run. Because I think I'll do one more after this one. I think these runs tend to be about, I mean, as far as I can tell, like, just a bit above 15 minutes. Which is actually, like, a really nice duration. Extra projectile, increased projectile spread, but it reduces my damage. I'm going to try the hacksaw, because I'm not entirely sure if that isn't going to make it so I'm firing 8 bullets now. Oh, yeah, here we go. Okay, the frame rates are starting to have some issues. When's the last time you heard about an exciting new sound technology as opposed to more ray tracing? Yeah, I don't actually know on that one. Not much. Oh, hey, there's the boss. It's dead. Ooh. So we've unlocked Sharp Teeth. A new character. And, okay. Taste of Hope. Double Pistol Trooper. 30% chance for a container to spawn at the start of every scene. Flaming Pie, so it's a fire mine. +2 weapons when your HP is above 85% of your max HP. Fully restores your health. Well, that's pretty good. Every 3 seconds, shoot a projectile that travels in a spiral pattern. Projectile grows in size and damage as it travels. Every 5 seconds, a stake will pop out of the ground, dealing damage to enemies. Okay, so let's quit out to the menu. Let's see, progress. So entertainer level 7 out of 10, entertainer points, badges collected, items collected, characters unlocked, and chambers unlocked. Ooh. Okay, when I saw progress, I thought this game had the dreaded meta progression. It does not. So this guy's got an SMG, lower max HP, less damage, way higher fire rate and range. And I don't know if there's other badges. Badges might actually be something based off of... Oh, I see, maybe location, and then character. Difficulty does not affect progress. I'm gonna probably stick to medium. So last impressed by Half-Life Alyx. Half-Life Alyx was an incredible game. I don't necessarily know if it's gonna be one of those that like, oh, I don't know. Half-Life Alyx is one of 2 games that I would specifically show off to people if I wanted to, like, if I wanted them to share my appreciation for VR. 10th projectile you fire, also shoot a tooth. If the enemy is destroyed, 4 more teeth are shot. I'm gonna go for proc effects on this one, if I can. And a little bit of raw damage. Or maybe no raw damage and just go hella fire rate so I can just stack teeth. I'll think about it. But like, Half-Life Alyx is a game that I would gladly put in front of people to show them just how effective VR can be at immersion. Lasers every time you're hit, extra move speed. I care not for these. I'm just gonna pass. I could waste a reroll here, but I think I'd rather use that on other things when I have a little bit more money. Speaking of money, snag that. I'm hoping we get the magnetism upgrade that we had the last run. We might not be able to get it, but pickup radius is kind of small normally. Oh, that's not great. Randomizer, Space Hog, gets me. Projectiles a sticky effect, makes them stick to the ground before disappearing. Or drops a mine. Let's go for tacky adhesive. That sounds kind of fun. Subnautica VR for lifelong trauma. Ooh, is that actually a thing? I think it is. I really like it when projectiles just stick around. I think that is actually one of the... It's like super unrealistic, but I rather like it in games. As one of those like odd effects that you can really use to do stupid things. Oh, it even works with the teeth. Yes! See, this'll reroll. Homing projectiles, homing projectiles. Subnautica is VR, and it's an excellent thalassophobia induction technology. Ha! Yeah, I currently don't have a good space for VR, which is a little unfortunate for me. Because I'd actually like to do some more VR stuff. Though, honestly, with how everything's been going... Whoops. With how everything's been going over at Meta and Oculus and whatnot. I'm not actually sure if I really care to put a whole lot of effort into VR, at least for a little while. We'll see how, like, PSVR 2 stacks up. But it's legitimately been a number of years since I heard about anything in... anybody excited about VR or like a new VR game. And maybe there are plenty of games that are actually, like, really good in the VR space. I just haven't heard of them recently. Yeah, there's mostly the Mist VR port, which, like, I'm sure that's fine. But that's not something that, like... I don't know, I don't consider ports of existing games quite as, like, groundbreaking. Okay, fire rate, luck, and... damage status effects deal to enemies by 50%. I don't think we do status effects, though. Ooh, slight chance to heal? I think that'll go. Waiting for the next generation of Valve's or Meta's headset before I pounce on it. Yeah, I could see that. What I want is for stuff like the Oculus Quest to, I guess, is it the Meta Quest now? I don't know. I want that stuff to really become the dominant force. I don't mind hooking my VR setup to my computer, but that having that cord wrapped around you is just really uncomfortable. Pirate Treasure. This VR remake actually was made natively for VR, not a port. When I say a port, I mean like a port, a remaster, a whatever. It's not like it was a new Myst game. It was just a nicer looking version built from the ground up. Which, like, it's good, but it's, how would I describe it? It's not new. And for me, I generally crave, like, new and really interesting things, as opposed to something that already exists that can be played in another fashion. Lasers every time you hit. That's okay. Another reroll. It's fine. These are boring. Let's see. Wait, no, that's a powerful rocket every 3 seconds. So we might want metal attraction, like, pretty badly, actually. Because I'm losing a lot of money just on the ground, because I can't pick it up. Nope. Yeah, we need some flat damage here. At least we have healing. But right now, I am very weak. I have a number of features that are pretty good, but I am still very weak. Okay. Rerolls. Money every time you decline Space Hog's offer, status effects, or dry bones. Do we reroll? Yeah, max HP or some range. I'm gonna go with those. Because, yeah, I'm not going for the status effects. I haven't even seen that many. Oh, but now I do a lot of flat damage. Hell yeah. Now we've become goofy stupid. Right. And at this point, I'm gonna turn the sound effects off entirely. I'm gonna turn the music up a bit. Let's bump. Music's pretty good. I wish the music, there were multiple songs, but I'm not gonna begrudge the lack at the moment. So, what do we have? Extra accuracy, reduced projectile speed, or wide variety of, wide piercing projectile every 3 seconds. I don't think I need accuracy. Let's go Orb of Water. Oh dang, I forgot it was the next fest. Also, hi Wander. Yeah, it is the next fest. Happens 3 times a year and it's like Christmas for me. Like, I actually have a blog post that'll be going up probably tomorrow talking about like how I find games, but the next fest is like the #1 means of game discovery on my end. At this point, I find games through my inbox, but it's one of those where like the next fest is the time 3 times a year where I can just sit down and be like, okay, let's take a look at all of these different games and see which one of them, which ones I like really want to keep my eye on for the rest of the year. And like almost inherently, I will find pretty much every game that I'm like going to look forward to for the whole year via the next fest. Orb of Water every 2.5 seconds. Yeah, sure, let's go for that. Oh, Sandy gave you both. Right. Sorry. I'm not used to generosity in these games. Oh my god, look at all these teeth. Oh, and because they just kind of sit there, the field is filled with teeth, and the teeth are unrelentingly strong. The only immediate problem is I'm not picking up nearly as much money as I want, but that's fine. Contact damage or Honestly, I'm gonna skip the troopers this time. So how's this bullet heaven? Actually super solid. Like, if you've played Brotato, this is gonna feel kind of similar, but it's got more of kind of like a Binding of Isaac style upgrade system, where most of the power-ups in Brotato are just stat ups in different ways. You know, fire rate, damage, armor, so on and so forth. Or like maybe a couple of unique guns. This one leans harder into the items actually do unique things. Okay, projectiles split into 2 smaller projectiles on impact. Absolutely. Oh, and that includes the teeth. You can just see as they plow through an entire, like, side of the map. Like, right there, that's just infinite cascading death. That is the mark, in my opinion, of a good roguelike and a good bullet heaven, is when infinite cascading death is, like, a viable build that you'll end up with. 3 seconds, doubles damage you deal below X amount, or Fibonacci notebook. Yeah, I can re-roll these. I could do better than this. Hey, give me that extra holster. Hell yeah. Ah. So what are we playing? It's called Cyclo Chambers. It's in the Steam title, or stream title. It is legitimately one of the better bullet heavens that I've played in recent memory. I think it's gonna need a lot to make it really have like staying power compared to some of its competitors. Mostly that's just gonna require large quantities of... See, this is a salesman too. Perfect. Let's burn some money. Spawns coins at the start of every scene. I'm not sure how good that is, but still. Go for the movement. Okay. I don't know if luck is really that good, but it's fine. I think what it needs is maybe a little bit more like upgrade evolution. Or maybe just weird synergies, where if like you have 2 items together, they have a chance of like fusing into one and doing something really interesting. I think that could be kind of interesting. That level of like hunting for strange combos that you wouldn't normally expect. That potentially makes like subpar upgrades really good if you get them. Maybe. I don't know. What are the good Brotato competitors? I mean, pretty much this one. Let's see. Duration of status effects. That's not that interesting. We get Mirror Face. What's he give me? Funnel. Nah, I can do better than that. Pirate Treasure, Funnel, Bee Sting, Crosshair. I guess I'm gonna go for Crosshair just because I don't have much of a choice. Something like uncollected coins explode after 5 seconds would be fun. Yeah! Just like weird little perks that are just like, hey, you found these 2 items. You know, maybe the hog or whatever would like have a third hand pop up being like, you know, here's like a secret synergy that you've snagged whenever you've unlocked it. Or maybe you get it from these containers, I don't know. Invincible, or 2 weapons when your HP is above 85%, fully restores your HP. Perfect. So now I got 4 weapons. It's a little bit on a time deal, but that's fine. Welcome to Teethland. Yeah, we could use some range here, but we're also only 3 scenes from being done, so doesn't really matter that much. I'm also noticing there's an unfortunate gravity towards stacking a ton of weapons. After a certain point, the game can't quite cope with it. It doesn't bug me too much. But I do feel like a number of my builds kind of naturally trend in this exact direction. And I don't know. I think it's fine. But I think it speaks volumes about the sheer power of multi-shot abilities. I do like the prevalence of rerolls, though. That's super nice. Give me that metal attraction. Actually, why did I pick that up? We're like 1 or 2 rounds from being done. Extra attraction's meaningless. I should have duplicated something else, but you know what? Whatever. It doesn't matter. We're rolling this, and I'm having a good time. I really like the fact that my bullets will sit on screen, including the teeth. and that everything is just this kind of, I mean, once again, infinite cascading death. Ooh, that's a lot of money. Don't think it's gonna work. Every 10th projectile you fire, you also shoot a bomb. That should be pretty good for this character. Yeah, I was kind of hoping to duplicate the extra holsters because, oh boy. Can you imagine this with 6 guns? Or like the teeth, or I don't know. It doesn't really matter. One way or another, like, I love playing these games because it's always kind of fun seeing what people do within the space that is at least marginally unique or interesting. So while this doesn't necessarily do anything truly new, the expression and combination of different pre-existing roguelike ideas into one slightly different remix is kind of exciting in its own way, I guess. Projectiles split into 2 smaller projectiles on impact. I thought I already had that one. Maybe it goes to the other direction. Fire rate when above 85% max HP. Discounted the shop. Ooh, that's good. And we'll go a little further. Earlier, you mentioned the dreaded meta progression. Kind of like meta progression, so I'm curious as to why you don't like it. It depends on the game. So, let's go out to the main menu and just kind of hang. So Rogue Genesia does meta progression really, really well. There's a lot of it, but you can generally go through a full run, and beat it. Admittedly, the full run is shorter. You know, you don't go to the second region until like the 2nd or 3rd tier of like difficulty or something like that. But so you can go on a full run of Rogue Genesia that legitimately feels balanced right from the get-go. You might not win, but at least it feels like you have a chance. Bad meta progression is like Gunfire Reborn, where the first region is generally pretty beatable without meta progression, but the second region starts getting too hard, and then good luck on the 3rd or even 4th regions. Like those very much are, you need X amount of meta progression to even have a chance. Hades kind of has a similar feel too, where it's like you really kind of need X amount of meta progression before you have a chance at clearing Elysium, let alone whatever the section with all the rats is. I forget the name of it. The other thing is, Hades' meta progression, for example, is really slow. And, yeah, there are also difficulty settings on this one, so I'm playing a little easier. Because, oh yeah, what does this guy have? Shotgun. Damage to all enemies when hit. Oh, he shoots piercing bullets. So yeah, we could, we were playing on easy. Or no, we were playing on medium. There's also hard, which might be a little harder too. Dead Cells and Rogue Legacy. So Rogue Legacy isn't bad, in my opinion, if only because Hades' entire thing, Rogue Legacy's entire thing is farming for currency. It almost feels like beating Rogue Legacy is detrimental to the grind. And so to some degree, you're more optimizing your money runs than you are actually like trying to win necessarily. Dead Cells, I don't remember Dead Cells having meta progression. Oh yeah, it did have some meta progression now that I'm thinking about it. I thought it was okay, but the main thing is meta progression should either feel like a short difficulty curve where the game starts hard and kind of shorter and simpler to get you used to the core gameplay loop, but you're done with the meta progression in time for the game to actually feel normal. Or it should be this kind of long drawn out thing where the meta progression is a core component of the game where you're constantly working towards getting further and further upgrades. And that the bad thing that I see a lot of roguelikes do is you have too much meta progression where the game is not fun early on because you don't have enough meta progression to be capable of winning, and then not fun at the end once you've maxed everything out because you are too strong and the game no longer offers a challenge or any level of interest. And so to some degree, a lot of developers will have meta progression because it's a good way to Skinner box, keep players around just to keep feeding the Skinner box, but it's a bad way to actually have your game last as far as like an enduring product, just because once players inevitably max it out, they're just going to be bored and, you know, won't have as much fun with it. Dead Cells, for example, endures because the meta progression did not take that long, and offered a lot of choice within it, so it wasn't so bad. Whereas, like, games like Binding of Isaac, for example, the meta progression is just unlocks, and otherwise, like, once you've unlocked at least most of the content available in the game, you can just keep doing runs endlessly, and there's no feeling of, like, this is too easy or too hard. It's one difficulty level, and it's just up to, like, RNG. I'll have to talk about it more in the future, and I don't feel like me talking in Cyclo Chambers is necessarily the spot for it. Yeah, Heroes of Hammerwatch, very grindy meta progression. Yup. Though you could actually get through it a little faster, but I don't know. I'll think on it more and actually analyze a number of these, but it is one of those that a lot of developers put in without thinking much, often to the detriment of the game.